My cousin got me into reading the stories on this site about a few months ago. So, I figured that this would be the place to tell this crazy shit. I don't guess it lives up to the Abandoned by Disney or some of the other really bizarre ones on here, but my story's true. So maybe that earns it some extra points. For you to completely understand the creepy level of what I'm about to write, you've got to know a little about the weird kid from the title. You probably all had somebody like him in your school. He was a year behind me, and my friend, Garrett. And the kind of kid that made you want to punch him in the face just for being so strange. I felt it sometimes, and I'm not really even a violent guy. So anyway, this goofy-looking, awkward son of a bitch is always by himself at school, reading something, and not even trying to be normal. He'd dress out for gym, but then just sit on the bleachers and mumble like a moron, if Coach Brown tried to get him to participate. I only tried to talk to him one time, and got the same mumbling response. All I did was ask him why he acted like such a loser, and he gets tears in his eyes and turns into a stuttering idiot. So anyway, I, like everybody else, was annoyed by the kid. Garrett, on the other hand, couldn't fucking stand him. He would always trip the little weirdo when he was walking in the hall, or try to embarrass him in front of everyone. Garrett's always been a good friend, but he's not exactly known for being the nicest guy in the world. I think Garrett sort of felt like he was helping the kid, though. Maybe he thought if Dickless, that's what Garrett usually called him, realized how stupid he looked to all the other kids in school, he'd make some effort to be normal. Whatever the reason, Garrett loved torturing the kid, but didn't really get violent with things until this year. Garrett and I are juniors, and I think we both started to feel the senioritis thing early. Instead of tripping him, Garrett started walking up to the kid and bitch-slapping him in between classes. Most people laughed, but some, myself included, to be honest, thought it was a little harsh. The closet thing was funny, and seemed pretty harmless, though. Before homeroom every morning, all of the students had to stand outside and wait for the first bell to ring before we could get to class. A really dumb idea, by the way. Anyway though, Garrett decided at some point that he couldn't stand seeing the weird kids standing outside with everyone else, and started making him stand in this little supply closet on the side of the school. It wasn't like Garrett even had to force the kid in or anything. I always assumed he was probably happier being by himself, truthfully. The closet routine happened for months, until about a week ago. Garrett goes to put the kid in his spot that morning, and this is where things took a turn onto Creepy Street. The kid didn't start walking when Garrett told him to, and looked Garrett right in the eyes with this psycho glare. Garrett just started laughing, but before anyone knows it, the kid reaches out and snatches the shit out of Garrett's face. I heard later that somebody noticed the little lunatic's fingernails had been filed to points, but I don't know if that's true. All I know is that the scratch on Garrett's face was deep, and that there was blood dripping from his face, like I've never seen from any fight. Garrett was shocked, but jumped on top of the kid and started beating the hell out of him. The kid's face was probably just about as bloody as Garrett's by the time a teacher broke things up. Both Garrett and the kid were suspended, and though everyone was surprised at what happened, we all thought that that was that. Then the really crazy shit came out. See, our principal started looking into what happened, and of course, some narc freshman told her about how Garrett had the kids stand in the closet every morning. When the principal looked in there, she found where the crazy son of a bitch had written all kinds of serial killer shit on the side of a bookcase. They weren't even full sentences, and it just said really creepy stuff like skin them alive, and taste your blood. There's also a piece of metal from a rolling TV stand that the kid had sharpened. I guess he was a cutter, because it already had blood all over it. There's a really stupid rumor going around that the kid used the knife that he made to cut out his tongue, but I guess that's just people trying to make an already weird story even weirder. Alright, that's what happened. I know it doesn't have some really dramatic ending, but I thought it met the creepy requirements to post it here. I'm more jealous of Garrett than anything. He's got the kind of parents that don't care about him being suspended, so he's basically just got his days free to play video games or drive around or whatever. I spoke to him this morning, and he was planning to go to the kid's house and either apologize or give him more shit. I don't think Garrett was sure yet. Either way, I'll update this story when I talk to... Robby can't finish his story. He's lost a lot of blood, and his hands aren't going to work anymore.